Okay, so I still have this error message here that I have to deal with, right? And I want to start off with what I did on line 33 here. So let's break down this line and ensure we understand what's going on. At the very left-hand side, we have the word request with a capital R. This is a reference to the struct I have defined at the top of my contract up here, okay? The word request tells Solidity that I'm about to create a new variable that contains a value of type request. Immediately after that, I create the new variable and its name is new request. This new request does not have to have the name request in it at all. It obeys all the same rules as normal variables. So it could have been called new elephant or whatever, but new request makes more sense. Taken together on the left-hand side of the equal sign, the two words mean I want to create a new variable called new request, and it will hold a value of type request. And everything on the right-hand side of the equal sign is more concerned with creating an instance of a struct. So the left-hand side is about storing the value, and the right-hand side is about creating it. So to create a new instance of a struct, we create the name of the struct, a set of parentheses, a set of curly braces, and then inside of there, we iterate over the different fields that we want to initialize this request with. Whenever we create a new request, we have to add every property that was originally added to the struct of request. Specifically declaring the struct on the right-hand side, like I did, I used a key value pair to define it. However, there's another way of defining a struct that does not involve all the keys listed out. This is an alternative syntax that you can use, that you can find documentation on, but I recommend you don't use it. The alternative syntax works in a tricky way. So I'm gonna show you what it looks like. But again, I recommend not to use it. So it looks something like description, value, recipient, false. All right, so that would be it there. So it doesn't tell us, what's wrong with this is that it doesn't tell us which value belongs to which field. So that alternative syntax is all based on having a consistent order of fields. Using this alternative syntax, Solidity assumes that the first, second, third, and other arguments are in the same order as the struct originally created. The problem with that is if I reorder the fields inside of my original struct up here, if I myself or another engineer decides to reorder that, that kind of it'll break things in the contract using that alternative syntax. Okay, it'll create an error message for that alternative syntax, and it'll complain that there's no match between what would be the key value pair. So imagine that the struct had all the same type of bool for Boolean, and when you create your new request, they all have true, 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 false, right? And so then down here, it would look something like this would be, come on, let's try it again. So this would be true, this would be true, this would be true, and then this one would be false, but then everything up here would be bool true, bool true, bool true, and bool false, right? Now, if you rearrange your original struct key value pairs in the future, it'll lead to confusion. So when we use the key value approach, we can jumble the order all we want, and we're not going to get any additional error message than the one, that I was already getting here. Let me get rid of this. Yeah, we won't get anything extra than the two that we have here. All right, so back to the struct itself. We define it, we assign it to new request, and we push that array, or we push that to an array, rather. We push that to an array that holds all our different structs, but we still have this error message here that I haven't really addressed yet. All right, so then in a subsequent video, I'll talk about what this error is complaining about. See you then.